This is my sister Betty's 49-year-old mobile home that we've been rebuilding for the past 6 months. And in less than a week, she's moving in, whether this house is fully finished or not. So right now we have to get the basics done. Hot water, plumbing, the tub surround, and every other little detail that's standing between her and move-in day. We're exhausted. The pressure is real, but right now, this just has to happen. And before we jump into this part of the video, I do want to let you know that today's water heater portion of this video is sponsored by ThermoMate. Since getting hot water is one of the biggest things Betty needs before move-in, this felt like a really natural fit for this project. So let's get to work.
So you want to do a opening the box thing first?
Do you want to?
Well, I mean, you know, they've already seen in the videos this up there, so they know we've opened the box.
So ThermoMate was kind enough to send Betty an on-demand water heater we've been preparing for. And this is a whole house unit. So it'll be right here. So this is an 18 kilowatt, 240 volt unit. It should supply the entire house with hot water. And we're going to work on trying to get it mounted to the wall so that we can get our hard plumbing done.
Yep.
Dad has already worked on getting the wiring done. And this took two 40 volt breakers.
Two double 40 breakers.
And then wiring, of course, which was
And number 8.
number 8. Very large, very large.
And this is ThermoMate's model ET180.
Look at that thing. Fancy. Fancy. So in order to mount it, you do have to open it up. And there's these mounting holes, which we've already got on the little mounting template we showed you. And so we're going to get the holes prepared on the wall and then get this thing set in there. So it does come with a full instruction manual. Everything you need on the basics on how to use the unit and set up the unit. Now, if you're not an electrician or a plumber, we recommend you hire electricians and plumbers to do this. Okay, we've chosen this location directly above the plumbing, and as instructed, we've got all the minimum distances that are on the template. Okay, one of these is going to be directly into the stud, and the other 3 are going to be kind of just attached to the drywall. And so what we've decided to do, well, we're going to go with toggles because they can hold a little bit more. I will take the unit, sir.
Don't know if I can pick it up. It's heavy.
This is super light compared to any water heater I've ever touched.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so there it is, ready for plumbing and wiring. Now they do come with caps on it, and it does say that when you remove these, water will likely come out because they test every one of these before they send them out. Looks like we did have some water.
Power tomorrow.
Yep, we're going to let the glue set up, give us plenty of time to cure. Then we'll do a water pressure test and start hooking up the power and then give it a test. So it's the next day and we've allowed 24 hours for the CPVC to cure. We're pretty good there. We just had to tighten up a cap because it was dripping a little bit, and now it's time to wire it in. I have my special electrician here working on that today. Okay, so we're gonna do a little cover box that goes right here. Little metal box. But for testing purposes, that can wait.
I've always tied in the grounds and neutrals first.
That way it hurts less?
Well, hopefully it'll go there, not me. Or maybe it'll ground me. I don't find anything about torquing specs here. I was hoping it might be here, but I don't see it in here.
So you're just gonna do the standards.
So I was gonna do what the box said on the other end. 25, yep, 25 inch pounds.
You could go 20 and see how it fits.
Okay.
Click, click.
Each one clicked.
Okay, we are plumbed and wired and ready. So before we turn it on and give it the first test, we're going to read each leg to make sure we've got the 240 so that we know whether we need to switch the volt AC from 240 to 208. Because if we don't quite hit 240, we're going to have to drop it down to 208 so that this thing doesn't try to overwork. Let's see, we've got 240 juicy volts.
Main coming in.
242.
So each leg in here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, each leg should be.
I know.
Yep. So we should have 240 over there, so we can go with the higher voltage rating on the.
So now that we know we've got 240 for sure that's going to be coming in, we leave the switch they have here at 240 volts instead of swapping it to 208. So now we can put the cover on and give it a test run. So, yeah, we got a green light. Current temperature in there of water is 64 degrees, or is that what? Oh, our goal.
That's probably the temperature it's in there.
So we're gonna shoot for. We don't want to scold anybody. How about 115?
You ready?
Yeah. Go ahead and just try hot first.
Yeah, it's getting warm. If you're not used to it, you don't want it. You wouldn't want to use it much more than this. Oh, it's getting really warm now.
Oh, that's toasty-ish.
Yeah, you wouldn't want it much warmer than that.
I need to go get my temperature checker to check it. You want to just hot toasty water. In no time we're up at 90, 92, 96, 98, 100, 102, 104, 108, 110, 19. So we're at 116 so far, which tells me it'll get to that hot 120. And that is very hot. Endless hot water.
And it quit heating.
As it should.
As soon as you shut it off, it quit heating. Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. Sometimes digital display doesn't come in real well. That might just be flashing across on the screen. What it is right here, it's showing that it's at 109 Fahrenheit. And if you didn't want to use it at all, let's say you had a whole different system and you only wanted this for certain things, that's how you'd power it off and back on. Here we can turn it up. I think this thing said it could get to 140.
I believe so.
We think a nice 115 so we don't scold the child. So all in all, not too hard to install it.
Nope,
Kind of
wasn't bad.
goes together like any water heater that I've ever seen, just lighter and smaller and kind of easier because you don't have some big bulky thing to put together.
Bigger wire.
Bigger wire feeding it, you mean?
Yep, yep.
That's for the electricians to deal with.
Yep.
Definitely looks like it can keep up. This unit does state that it can do a household of 4, or on average 4 fixtures. So what they recommended, because we only have 2 sinks and a shower and basically a washing machine which only fills up as needed, and then the tub which you only fill as you need, this is the exact size unit they expected. So I expect Betty will save money here and there because she doesn't have to continually heat water. She only heats it as she uses it.
That's what it's designed for.
So we'd like to take a moment to thank ThermoMate for sponsoring this video. This is going to be extremely useful for my sister Betty in her renovation, and I really look forward to seeing what her results are for showers. I mean, she likes to take those 15, 20, 30-minute showers sometimes. So this thing will just keep supplying the hot as long as she wants to be in there. I'm a 5-minute in and out kind of shower person, so I really don't need that long. But it'd be great, saves money, heats faster, never run out of hot water. Anything you'd like to add, sir?
Thank you, ThermoMate.
And stay tuned for more from them. And now that we've got a water heater all set up, thanks to ThermoMate, it's time for me to get that prepared so that we know exactly what we've got to do when we come around here. So that's my next big thing, and we can come back to this after we get the water set up over here. So I've got to get the valve that we've got all plumbed in and prepped and ready off of the opposite side. Even if we don't have the tub spout or none of that set up yet, just mainly the valve and then the hole for where the tub spout's going to come through, so that we can work our tile around and we know exactly where we need to make any notches. So Betty opted for an extremely affordable single handle, single tub spout unit for her shower. It's kind of what she could swing and buy right now instead of something too fancy. It's not bad at all. Now, I've replaced valves in these types of units before, and I've replaced the 3-handle kind like this before. But this will be the first time I've ever installed one of these single units brand new. Kind of comes with an intricate detail on the best way to install it. And so I think my first task is going to be basically to get this connected to where it belongs on here. Get it up there so that I know exactly where it needs to sit before I put the piece that needs to come across for this to attach to on the back side. And then get the bottom with the piping for the tub spout to go through where it needs to go, so I know exactly where to drill that hole and get that pipe through. Then we can put this on at the back and do what we got to do back here. Should come right out now. There we go. So now we've got our riser. We're going to reuse the one that was here because there's nothing wrong with it. It wasn't broken. Okay, we've thoroughly cleared the threads with our wire brush and our thread chaser. Now, this thread's on like it was brand new. You guys hear that wind and rain? I don't know if you can hear it through the mic, but it is pouring out there today. Yesterday when Betty and I started that shower surround, it was so hot. Today, it's like 60 degrees, wind's blowing sideways, and just rain, go away. Pouring like crazy. Oh, that is so close. Now, I gotta get it around one complete rotation. Everybody will be good and tight. Okay, so now that we've got this whole thing put together and attached, we can try and carefully put it up here where it belongs. There. So now we know exactly where to drill the hole for the tub spout portion. Okay, we've got that on. We'll put one of our holders on for the time being. Just so something doesn't fall out on us. Not fun. And now we'll know when we come across, we'll know where to cut this tile, and then we'll know where to cut this tile. Same down here. Might have to do a hole right up the middle of this one. Same with the top. Everybody's ready so that we can work on this side. All by myself, just wanna be all by myself. Here I go again on my own, going down the only road I've ever known. I'm so lonesome I could cry. Okay, almost there. Betty actually showed up to help do a little something today. Basically help wrap up the end. She came in and she was a little bit astonished because it was like almost done.
It's beautiful.
9 o'clock at night, and this is where Betty and I decided to call it quits. We still have to do the bottom. We still have to do some cleanup. We still have to do several other things. But this is it for now. I'll see you tomorrow. Show you this a little bit cleaner and a little bit closer. All right, everybody, it's the next day, and who's ready to see what that surround actually ended up looking like? Okay, what you're looking at is 566 tiles that Betty installed. She might have had a little bit of help. Anyway, so this is the tile in the tub surround so far. 566 tiles later. No, it's not finished yet. We still have to run around, clean the wax off of these one at a time, slowly and carefully. We'll probably use a plastic razor blade for that, just to keep things from getting damaged. And then yes, of course, we still need to grout the whole thing. We did have one that somehow we forgot to install it last night, so I got to deal with that. And then we got to run around and make sure there's no mortar on any of these surfaces before we would grout. Then it's ready to be grouted, and that still doesn't include finishing the apron down below. So there's about 40, 50 tiles that need to go onto the apron. Also need to come around like this. And then we have to put the plumbing hardware on. And then I could put on like the little beauty rings and the finished pieces and stuff like that. And then all that's left here is just to hook the hot and the cold up. So then we'll be ready to go ahead and test that, make sure we're good to go there.